Hey everyone, Jason Przekurat here, professional walleye fisherman. And I want to talk to you about how I tie my crawler harnesses. Now, night crawler harnesses are something we always use for tournament fishing and fishing in general. They just flat out catch a lot of walleyes. So just going to go through my components and how I tie mine, and hopefully you'll be able to catch more fish when we're done with this. Just starting off with the main line here, I tie about a 5 to 6 foot leaders. My leader material is trilene 100% fluorocarbon and 15-pound test. That's what I use on everything. My back hook that I start with is a number 8 treble hook, and I just simply, tie a regular fisherman's knot with that. I've used smaller treble hooks. I've used some bigger treble hooks, but number 8 seems to be the best for me. I just, like I said, simply tie an overhand knot or a fisherman's knot. We'll cut off the don't use your teeth at home. I got scissors here. So anyway, I've got my back hook tied on, my number 8 treble. From there I want to tie or snell in my second hook, which is going to be a number 1 octopus hook. I use the Trocar octopus. It seems to work great for me, but here's the ticket on how to snell this next hook on. You hold it in your hand in upright position. I go to the other end of my line, and what you want to do is take your tag end here and you want to go up through the eyelet, okay, not down through the eyelet, but up through the eyelet. So we go up and through the eyes, and then what I do is I pull all that line through there, and eventually the treble hook will hit the back of my hand, okay? So I know my distance is correct between my hooks. My treble hook's on the back of my hand, the single hook's in the front. From there we just hold the line on the bottom of the shaft of the front hook, and then I wrap it around about 14 times. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then at that point I hold that line so it doesn't pull apart. Go back to the tag end all the way to the other end, the 5 or 6 feet away. Take that tag end and go up the back again, just like you did the first time. And then you pull all that line through, making sure nothing gets tangled, and now that hook is snelled. Okay, it won't go anywhere. So I know my gap between the hooks is perfect as long as it hit the back of my hand. I know the front hook is right where it should be, and away we go. So that's a simple way to rig your crawler harnesses. The only other thing I use, and it's very rarely, is 2 single hooks. And I would use 2 single hooks when I'm fishing in like heavy weeds, where the hooks are going to get tangled in the weeds. That's the only reason I go to 2 singles, but the majority of my fishing is always a number 8 treble in the back, about 4 inches of gap between the hooks, and number 1 in the front, 15-pound 100% fluorocarbon, and away we go. Alright, now that we have our snell tied correctly, now comes the fun part of putting all the beads on and the clevis, and that's the cool part of making your own crawler harnesses, is you can actually make your own color combinations and kind of get, have a little fun with making your own rigs. But general rule of thumb for me is, you can't beat purple or gold or any combination like that. The other spectrum would be some type of chartreuse bead or something bright. So you can tie any of this stuff right in the boat like I am here on the front seat. But I start off by just putting on some beads. I use 6mm beads. That's the size that I prefer. And there's no right way or wrong way to do it as far as colors go. The hardest part is being able to get the beads on the line since my eyes are fading. But anyway, I'm putting on 2 gold, 2 purple, and a couple more gold. And then the next part becomes the clevis. Now the clevis is this little white piece right here. That's where our spinner actually gets attached to. We thread that on there, and there's a right way and wrong way to put that on too, and it's pretty self-explanatory when you see it. And then my little trick at the end here, after putting all these beads on and the clevis, is to put 1 more bead on in front of it. So I'll thread 1 more bead on. So that bead is in front of the clevis. That gives it just a little bit of different action. That's kind of important, so that's why I do it that way. Now here's the key. When you're actually putting on a spinner, I use a lot of number 5 Colorado blades. That's just one of my favorites. You clip that clip it right on the clevis. That allows us to change blades really fast. We can pull that on or off change colors really quick. But now when we slide it all together, we got the beads and the clevis and the blade all attached. You can see it right here. The most important part is, as you can see, the beads and the blade length are the same. So the bottom of my blade comes right to that last bead. That's important. Okay? If it's too long, then it covers up the hook, and if it's too short, it just doesn't look right. So put enough beads on so it hits the bottom of the blade. And last but not least, on the other end of my 5-foot harness, what are we going to tie to that end? This is very important, is to use a quality ball bearing swivel. Back when I started, I used to use a lot of just regular swivels, and you get too much line twist with regular swivels. A good quality ball bearing swivel is very important. It'll save you a lot of headaches down the road. I just tie a regular fisherman's knot with that, go around 5 times, put it back through the hole, tighten her down, and away we go. So that clips to your main line. So there you have it. That's how I tie my harnesses right there. Number 8 treble in the back, number 1 treble in the front, about 4 inches between the hooks. Put some beads on, get the right length of beads and blade together, and hopefully you'll catch more walleyes after watching this.